All right. Well, Barndo Co, Matt and Shauna, just want to take the opportunity to let you know that the March 27th live has been canceled. In lieu, we are graced with the opportunity to have this sort of setup in our office here with these fantastic guys behind the scenes here.
RX2 Productions. I like this way better, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, it feels cool. It looks cool.
You know, Facebook Live is cool, but I mean,
it's not a production team.
It's not a production team, and I think I like having the conversation a little bit better, and taking feedback from our clients and potential clients on what they want to learn about Barndominiums and how we work with our clients, more importantly.
Yeah, but a little background first. Matt's been shooting his Barndominium guy podcast series, Let's Talk Barndos. If you're not sure what that is, we will definitely be sharing that on our page and on our socials, so you'll be able to see that. But
the first one went really well. The second was a bomb.
It was not. They were great. But the thing is Matt had a cancellation, so we slipped into that spot. And because I wanted to try this out, and the mics are really cool. So here we are. Let's dive into it. So we have, basically, we're just going to jump into a discussion, Matt and I, and talk about our services, talk about how we operate, what the future looks like, not just for us, but for Barndos in Canada, and we'll go from there.
Well,
so
I think we both work very different ways,
you mean you and me? Or?
Yeah, initially I was, I did a lot of the business development, and then as our company grew and more projects came on board, I didn't have the opportunity to do that anymore. So Shauna kind of picked up the initial discovery calls and does amazing, really understands and kind of drills down into the client to find out exactly what they're looking for. They're talking about dog grooming and washing stations and where they're putting the, I'm more a little bit of the nuts and bolts and the drill into the project and, what's the foundation like. But
it's funny you say that, because when I'm on the phone and clients are asking me questions, and they start asking build questions, I'm out right there. I'm like, I'm honest. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to get Matt to answer this question. Because I really don't know the answer, but I just want to be upfront and honest about that, right? So we can talk about that, actually, and let's start at the beginning, because you mentioned plan and design, and that's really, the whole journey with Barndo Co starts with me, and we have that discovery call, and we talk about what your project looks like. What are you thinking about? Do you already have land? Do you not have land? How far are you out from the build, etc.? Are you, the number one thing is a lot of people are calling and looking for, what's it cost to build a Barndo? Right?
What is the cost per square foot?
Oh, cost per square foot. We'll get to that. But what does it cost to build a Barndo? And the reason why they want to know that is because most people are dealing with a budget. Let's call it $1 million, just for round numbers. And you got to buy land, right? So if land is 600, does that mean, I have 400 left for my build? Is it enough? And then off to the races we go, and we dive into that, and we have that conversation. We provide the free estimate, and then we work backwards. And do we need to scale back? How do we do that? What's that look like? But estimate. I want you to speak to the estimate for a sec.
After the initial call and understanding the client and where they are in the journey, whether they own land or whether they're ready to execute and build, there's always some complex questions that arise. You're building a home. It's a $500,000 investment.
At least.
We need to understand a lot of things, and that's usually centered around the approach on structure, the foundation. Those are the two biggest components, the two biggest costs in the build. And then HVAC is a very popular one. So I'm usually coming in at the second phase of the call when clients have more detailed questions about the build process, so we can kind of work initially like we do with our clients there's a lot of interior scope and stuff like that Shauna deals with, while I deal with more, like I said, the nuts and the bolts of the build, what that looks like.
Yeah, and that's the estimate, and that's what I want you to sort of touch on, because when we provide an estimate, a lot of people are under the impression that the numbers that we're sending you are Barndo Co numbers.
A
And
lot
that's,
of people ask us if they want us to pay, they got to pay for it.
what's that?
The estimate.
Oh, very true.
Yeah.
No, our estimates are free. But the numbers that you're seeing on the estimate are the actual cost to build. So that's materials and that's labor. And outside of that, our fee is also there. It's very transparent. Anyways, it's line item, detailed. All the items are there. Some are grouped together. But for the most part, I mean, all you're seeing is cost to build and our service fee, and that's it. So I know most people are looking for that all-in price or that square foot price that's gonna lead them down a road of, yeah, it says it's, let's say $549 all in, but then, it's 6 months in, are you gonna ask me for more money? And what does that look like? And are, another 6 months into the project. So that's not how it works. We're not builders. We're not custom home builders. We're a project management firm. So we operate differently, and we're able to charge you that service fee. And then over and above that, your cost to build is the only expense that you're going to pay.
What it actually costs.
What
to
it
build.
actually costs to
What it actually
build.
costs. We say-
No padded profit.
We say that all the time. And you bring up a great point as it relates to fees. I mean, it's not uncommon to see a fee for service in almost any industry now. And we're just bringing that fee for service industry to the construction landscape, which is part of the disruption we're doing. It does take a couple of calls for people to understand how we work, and we try to articulate the best, but how we work in the home building space is driven by the Barndominium and it having a DIY component. Not everybody wants all or nothing. Not everybody wants turnkey.
Well, even if they do want turnkey, maybe there are aspects to the build that they can help facilitate that is going to help further reduce costs. But
I think
we're still a part of the project. Does that make sense? Like if your uncle, neighbor, brother, father is an electrician, owns a business, he's able to sign off on code, is going to do all the labor for free, you just got to pay for the materials. That's a huge savings.
Labor is the needle.
And are we saying no to that? 100% not. Okay, we support that.
What makes us different.
Yeah, and if you say we're going to paint the whole house, well, then that's wonderful. We support that.
Keep in mind, we want to make sure everybody has a successful project. We want to make sure that people are, set up with their dream. It's a large investment, and they have a successful project, and they have occupancy. A lot of that starts with planning and design, making sure that they have a good set of drawings that's going to drive their entire project. It drives the foundation, the insulation, the windows and the doors, the interior finishing, really allows them to understand what their project is from.
Let's go back to that. Let's go to plan and design, because we have stock plans. Stock plans are now on our website. Available for purchase, flat fee, doesn't matter the square foot, they're all the same price. And then there's a customization cost to that as well, if you want to buy the stock plan and customize it. And who's this for? I mean, this is for people in the early stages of Barndominium, like you're in the dream stage, right? Maybe 2 years away, don't own land, but want to start that journey. This is the perfect way. It's a small investment. You do get your construction drawings. They're stamped, BCIN stamped, and you're good to go. So it's good for people that want to build barndominiums. Maybe they work with a contractor and they love our plans. They love our designs. So it's good for those guys.
If you want to understand how much it costs to build a barndominium, the best thing to do is have a plan, because they can tell you right down to the drywall screw exactly the cost. That's
the contractors.
What's driven.
Is that what you mean?
Well, when you have the plan, you have the estimate. It's driven from the plan.
Well, everything is. I mean, how much is my kitchen going to cost? I mean, you can't find that out without the plans. technically. I mean, you can get a ballpark, but you can't get, down to the nuts and bolts of it.
Speaking of the plan, I think it's important to realize of real importance. Our business is driven from the clientele. Everything we do, our discounts, how we build, our approach to building is all about affordability, because that's a lot of what drives people to barndominiums. Our stock plans are just so reasonably priced. For $895, you're going to get a stamped plan with the option to customize it if you want, for an additional fee, of course. But the reality is you can't go anywhere in the marketplace and find anyone that is a designer that carries a BCIN that is going to charge you that amount. I myself, from some of our clients, have been charged obscene amounts of money. So
Excuse me.
I think it's important to understand the value in our stock plans, and our stock plan and customization is built for the client, because people keep coming to us with plans from the States.
Oh, I think that was big in the first, 8 to 10 months. And since our plans have really taken off in the launch of our new website, where they're really showcased properly, they look amazing and people love them. It's very different than like going to a steel company's website and looking at a tin box with, itty bitty windows. This looks like a custom home. This is what we want. This is what people want. So it doesn't, anybody can buy the stock plans, which is the point. And then, of course, we have custom plans at $2 a square foot. You can always, let's get together and let's, we have a rigorous design, I guess, sort of system in place that asks a lot of questions that are very pertinent to you and your family, so that we can learn as much as we can about you to make those recommendations. And then we keep going. I mean, we've seen 9-10 drafts before it actually goes to our in-house architect.
9-10 of each stage too.
That's what I mean.
30 times.
Yeah, it's rigorous, and then we make sure that it's everything you want, and then it goes to the architect and you get your drawings. So.
And I think it's important to realize that we are a national company. We are working with clients in Alberta, in Manitoba,
coast to coast,
in Quebec, in Nova Scotia, Ontario. The process doesn't change from our model and our approach to building. And, we need to look at the planning and design as the initial parts of the journey. This gives you the best understanding. It doesn't matter whether you come to us like, I want to build right now or I want to build in a year. It all starts with a plan.
Yeah, it really does, and you can't do anything else in your build without it. So let's move on. We did stock plans, custom plans. Let's move into our newest service option, which is the Barndominium permit management.
I'm excited about this
product, and it's honestly so affordable and fantastic. If you are looking at, and we'll touch on the kits, but if you are looking at, a DIY, or you're working with a steel company who often don't, they don't provide drawings, they don't manage your permits for the most part, and you're kind of left trying to figure that out on your own. And we learned that from a lot of clients, Christy, it's our CNC Barndo. But we've launched this product so that people out there aren't left stranded in managing their own permits. So,
like anything, we want to see people have successful barndominium projects, and that obviously requires a couple of components. Nothing is truly DIY, but there is a big conversation point as it relates to permits, and exactly what people need to do in each municipality is different. But the reality is that I would say that's probably one of the biggest hurdles that people have to overcome in the build process, that is the most scary. It's the yay or nay moment. Am I approved? Am I not approved?
Yeah, and if you want a nay, don't, or if you want a yay, don't call your municipality and ask them if you can build a barndominium. Bad idea. And
when
if
you
you
work-
want to know why, give me a call and we'll chat about it.
And when you
but-
work with us, when you're our clients, that's something that we manage as far as your project is concerned as well. So
Yeah, and
that's-
that's our partially managed and our fully managed builds. We manage all aspects of the build, and we'll get there. We'll get there, Maddie. Don't jump ahead.
I'm not
We're on
jumping
the
ahead.
permit
Still
management
still
right
staying
now.
on permits because there is a lot of people. We talk to a lot of people that have already
$3,600
talked to a steel company.
Yeah.
And, we really need to, be mindful of what the responsibilities are in order to pull your permits. And that's where we come in. We do it day in and day out.
Yeah.
We have a team for it.
Yeah, we have a permit team, a facilitation team, and they manage all the permits on our project manager's behalf. So it's beautiful. It lifts a big load off a lot of shoulders. But also, in addition to steel companies, there's a lot of contractors out there that also don't manage your permits. They'll manage your build and they'll
Yep.
build your home, but they want nothing to do. They say, come see me when you got your permits. And there's a reason for that, and it's rigorous and it's mind bending. So if you want to take a load off, $3,600, we have that permit management service launched now. So come take advantage of that. But let's move into kits.
Shells. Shell
Okay,
package.
shells.
It's notorious.
We hate the word kits, to be
Listen,
honest. It's so cheap.
We need to give some context for this because people don't understand that when we came into the business, the only offering for barndominiums was steel structures. You Google the word barndominium,
And
you get a
kits.
bunch of steel
Kits.
suppliers, steel kits.
That's what they are.
That's what they call them. It's a pre-engineered building. I mean, it's still custom to you, but our kits are a little bit different, which eliminate the ability for barndominiums to be built because guaranteed, if you can build a home, you can build this structure on the property.
The kit?
The shell package,
Just
the hybrid
messing with
approach to
you.
building barndominiums.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of how we designed it and we approached it. And it wasn't available in the Canadian market until we came on the scene and we really started looking at, what is in the US space
Yeah.
and what isn't here. Again, with the mindset that we just want to help people build barndominiums. We just want more barndos, period.
So our shell packages are basically just as it sounds, the entire shell, right? So that's roof, your frame for your shell, of course, your siding, windows, doors, soffit, fascia, eaves. Did I hit it all?
Oh, yeah.
And
pretty
they're
much almost
$42 a square
few
foot,
other-
right? I mean,
Yeah.
starting at, because you can take a plan like, let's look at the Georgina. You can take the Georgina and say, you still want the shell package, you still want the kit, also known as self-managed on our website, but maybe you want to make the garage a little bigger. Maybe you want to add more windows. Maybe you want to upgrade the windows, right? These are all options. So starting at, that's why we say that. There is a list of inclusions on our website under self-manage. Please take the time to really scroll through our website and read everything, especially the FAQs, when considering, contacting us, because, I get a lot of questions and some of them I'm just like, I wish they had just taken, 10 minutes to read through because they'd know that answer. Or I can tell from questions in the emails that they totally have no clue how we operate because it's questions like, does that come with appliances? Well, we don't sell,
I don't sell appliances.
we don't sell appliances, definitely, but we don't actually, that is something that you would ask, maybe a track home builder or a custom home builder if you could get appliances with your build, but we're managing the build. I mean, that's our expertise, that's our service, that's what we sell is our knowledge and our knowledge base and our expertise. So appliances are out for sure.
Do you get questions like, I called the township and they said, I can't build a barndominium?
Or it's not just I can't build a barndominium. Maybe it's, I mean, yes, there are different things that the township says, or they've gone to the website and they've read, but they've totally misunderstood what they read. That just happened the other day. Somebody was under the impression that they needed to go, how many inches in the pad to go down?
54 inches into the pad.
In the pad or something. We were like, what? No, that's not right. So we put our permit team on it, got them to hop on and read the information, and turns out that was actually in regards to a deck. And nothing to do with the actual build itself, and they can 100% put a pad and slab on grade build on their property. So yeah, be careful. Don't take information that you think you're gathering inside the rabbit hole and take it for truth.
Don't go to the municipality and say, I want to build a barndominium, because the people in the municipality are going to say, a barn to what? And you're going to have to try to explain it. And when they see the package with elevations and windows and doors and covered porches and what the approach is on the foundation, it changes the conversation greatly. So it is truly a custom home.
No, 100%.
It is a custom home. A barndominium is a custom home.
Yeah, it is.
So, and we're just trying to kind of bring the FAQs, or bring the questions that people ask us consistently. And maybe we can touch on price again.
Well, we will. I just want to get through the services and talk about what we offer, and then what that looks like and how that works through our office, and even remotely, and then
so
we
you
can
just lay it out, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I'm laying it out. Okay, we're back. Yeah, we took a little break there. It's perfect. Anyways, I'm going to dive right back in, get back on the shell packages. Right now we have 3 sales, well, 3 specials. The Sherbrooke,
The Elwyn.
the Elwyn, a baby, and the Halton.
The Halton.
The Halton.
Till March 14th.
Yeah. It's our Valentine's Day special. And why did we pick Valentine's? Why did we pick Valentine's, Matt?
That's our anniversary.
It is. So as a gift to you, we wanted to share a special price. Can they be customized still? 100%. And then we just re-estimate based on the customizations you've made. If it's just floor plan and we're moving walls around, that doesn't generally change the price. So you're fine there. But yeah, so that's our, free delivery anywhere, Canada, US, Australia, doesn't matter, wherever. Kits are sent, created, packaged, and delivered to you from within your own country. Okay, so if you're in the US, we get a lot of questions. If we are shipping from Canada, no, we are not. We are packaging your kit together inside the US space, just like Australia. We're doing that for you folks inside your space, and then shipping it out from there. I think we can move on from kits. I think that's
Shell package kits.
Gosh.
Everybody likes the word kits. They understand the word kits, but neither of us particularly like it.
I don't like it. It sounds cheap. I do like shell package, but
yeah, I think, and that's a big thing, and we're uncovering a lot more information to come on that. And,
I do want to
if you want to
say,
learn
though,
more about shells and affordability, definitely give us a call.
yeah, and I want to touch on that our shell packages are only available in the hybrid. So that is the wood frame construction wrapped in steel. And the reason why is because, well, first of all, steel companies offer steel kits. I guess if you want a steel kit right now in Canada or the US,
They're all kits technically.
They're all
They're
technically
pre-engineered.
kits.
They come from the factory.
Yeah.
Marked. I mean, technically it is a kit.
We'll let them do it. But personally, I don't want to deliver a steel kit that have no part in that project. I don't know who's putting that project together. Is it a wood framing crew that is now erecting the steel structure? Could be, and when it falls down in possibly in a
It's
year,
still
so we don't.
predominantly our client's choice. Is still steel structures for sure, 100%.
Yeah, but that's why we only offer the hybrid. But we do offer hybrid and steel for the partially managed
For the partially managed
and the fully
managed.
managed. Oh, good point. Glad we brought that up. Back to shell packages. You can buy a shell package, and like right now, if you just bought the Halton and said, will you guys manage that build, into the dried in phase, so the partially managed? Yeah, we will. Of course we will. So you can still have that. I just want to touch on that. But
Yeah, if we've learned one thing, people need help building barndominiums.
So walk us through, now this goes for partially managed, fully managed, but walk them through, what does that mean? What does that look like?
So we learned very quickly that there is a large portion of the barndominium community that wants to tackle the entire interior themselves. They're comfortable with it. They've done it before, a renovation, there's a...
Or hire the trades themselves.
Well, no, not do it themselves, just even manage it themselves.
Yeah.
No one wants to do drywall. I mean, leave drywall to the drywall guys. I mean, but
yeah.
The reality is, so we kind of found this blend where we take clients to the dried in phase, which is windows and doors, insulation, foundation, permits, everything you need to be dried in, which is what.
Yeah, but start at the beginning, right? Start right at the beginning. Like we take you through plan and design, right? And then we start working, once we get the drawings, then we start working on permits.
Yeah.
Right? And then we start with, we got permits, we're working on land prep. So do we need a driveway? Do we need the culverts? Do we need septic, sewer, excavating, bring material out, bring material in, grading, leveling? What do we need to do to get the land ready? Right? And then take it from there.
I think you should just keep going because
well then pad, we're moving on to pad. And if it's steel, we gotta wait 30 days because that has to sit for cure for 28 days. And then your structure is delivered and erected. If it's hybrid, that we don't need to wait, doesn't need to cure. What? Knock it off. It doesn't need to cure, we can start erecting that structure, the wood framing right away.
Pretty quickly.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
And then, of course, we wrap the frame and get all the siding, roof, soffit, fascia, eaves, windows, doors, get it all done. And then that's where Matt says, we'll handshake it off to you and you take it from there.
That's pretty much it. And the reason for that, like I said, is people are comfortable with kitchens. People are comfortable with trim and doors and windows, or sorry, not windows, but they can carry the project from that perspective, whether it's themselves or their network. Again, there's not one project we're not working on pretty much where we're leveraging someone's natural market or current network of trades or sub-trades or someone that does something.
Yep. My brother has an excavator and he's going to do all the land work. Okay, great. Perfect. I mean, that might impact us if we were custom home builders, but we're not. So that's perfect for us, right? And then, of course, the only difference for the fully managed project is instead of handshaking it over to you to finish, we're going to take it to turnkey. And we're going to right to permit release. Something we've added every time it's funny because a lot of the things that we add, whether it's a service, whether it's to the contract, right, our agreement with clients, it doesn't matter what it is. It always comes from an experience that we've had. And more recently, it was brought to us about this, like a 30 days post
90 days
or 90 30
days.
We do 30 for partial build, right, and 90 days for the full build post completion so that we can help you manage deficiencies, right? It's just a value add.
Value add.
Yeah.
Taking client feedback.
Right. So that's how that works. Speaking of fees, so our fee is the only money you ever send Barndo Co. Okay, we don't manage your money. It's probably fair to say that if you're in a position to build your own home, you can probably manage your own money, and that's how we feel. And we don't want to be responsible for your budget. So we take 50% up front, and then if it's a partial build, we take the balance before your structure's delivered. And if it's a full build, we take the balance before your structure's erected. And that's pretty much how that works.
It's pretty straightforward, and it is something that sets us apart from every other home builder, every other contractor, pretty much nearly on the planet, because that is exactly what is the most affordable approach and transparent in nature as it relates to what the costs are for building. And it's something we pride ourselves on. I think it's not geared from your budget or how much money you're spending. It's not.
No.
It's out there, and it's a fee for service.
And yep. And it doesn't change throughout the build.
It does not change.
Even if you decide that you're gonna blow 1.5 million on this build, our fee doesn't change. So, which is nice. Now let's speak to that. I mean, we have a lot of companies that approach us daily that want to work with us, and I feel good about that. And good job, Matt. But it's, they want to work with us, and much like a custom home builder, they want to offer us a discount. Now, we decided a long time ago that we weren't going to accept discounts, in fact, that we were going to pass them down to our clients. So now we kind of have a really rigorous vetting process for companies we work with. Make sure A, their values align with ours, and B, that they're not real profit driven, that there has to be some care and concern for the quality, not just of service but of materials that they're providing our clients. So
yeah, it's again something else that makes us totally different is that we extend that to our clients.
Yeah.
And that is so different that even our suppliers question that.
Initially, in the beginning.
Are you sure you want me to send this invoice like this? And
Yeah.
I was like, yes, I do.
Thought we were crazy.
Thought we were nuts. And I think again, we want to help people build barndominiums. That's our goal.
Yeah, it is. And so what have we covered? So I think
Let's hit time to build.
Time to build. Ooh.
How long does it take to build a barndominium? My initial answer is, how long does that take you to get through planning and design? How long does that take you to settle on where you want the pantry, the missus, and the husband? How big of a garage do you want? I mean, that is the reality. We speak daily about that. So once you're through planning and design and an effectively managed project, again, depending on steel or wood, what your approach is, there's some, time to build concerns there with steel.
Steel takes 3
takes
months
a
to
little bit,
manufacture your project.
And then, it's the same as in the inside of any home. It's the same type of kitchen. It's the same type of drywall and paint and doors and trim. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that can be 100 days. That can be 120 days.
Builds are front end heavy. Honestly, like the amount of work and hours that go into, right from signing the agreement and paying your deposit, right? I mean, people, you can be with us for 3 months and we're just now working on permits. Like Matt said, mostly due to going through the plan and design process. But if you're fairly quick at that, then that's great. We can get through that fairly quickly, and then we start gathering all the documents required to submit for permitting. And then, of course, it's up to the municipal office at that point. But once permits are issued, and, if it's steel, we've got that 3 months. So during that 3 months, we're now doing site prep right? We're getting ready.
Organizing and managing the
100%.
front end of the project.
Yeah, and then all that land work and then, you know, once by the time that pad is down and cured, the structure's being delivered. How long does it take to erect the steel structure? Probably.
Again, a 30 by 40, 1,200 square foot is much different than a 44 by 55 2-story.
Yeah, but
You
it's
know,
got to be a
It
couple weeks.
It starts at a couple of weeks, and
Yeah.
for bigger, more complex structures, you know, it could be as much as 3 weeks or a month.
Okay,
So
dried in.
dried in.
Okay, and then interior, right? And again, that comes down to complexity. I mean, are we
100
doing a
100 days, 120 days. We don't. That's
16-foot, you know, floor to ceiling stone fireplace that a mason's coming to do? And it depends, right? It depends on the complexity of the interior and how much is going into it. But I think that 4 months.
good. That's a good start.
We say, I like to say 32 weeks.
Under-promise and over-deliver than it is.
I know, but I like to say 32 weeks. Yeah, good point.
Well,
Under-promise, over-deliver. Let's.
If there's something
good
that's
segue.
happened with our existing clients and all permits and where we've been at build stages and engineering and all of these things, I mean, it is building a home. It is a complex process, and there's a number of things that can go wrong. I tell clients all the time, 80% of the time you're gonna love me, 20% of the time you're gonna hate me.
It's bound to happen. There's always things that happen or can happen on a job site. But I was saying that there's a good segue to talk about that square foot price.
Cost per square foot.
Yeah.
So one thing we don't know is how you want to finish your countertops. What kind of
But what kind of countertops
what kind
you
of
want?
countertops? So, well, that's the finish,
Right.
or what kind of shower stall, glass shower stall. I mean, there's so many variables.
Interior glass walls, right? With hollow
Cupolas.
stainless steel doors, yeah, right. Like
You'd be surprised what people come to us and say they want.
Yeah. I mean, it could be the difference of, you know, $100 a square foot on the interior to, you know, $1,000 a square foot on the interior. I mean,
We typically
it varies.
We focus on heated living space, which gives us we know structure costs, we know insulation costs, we know plumbing, we know all of these things. So we kind of center the cost per square foot conversation around heated living space. And we typically say if you're going to use a budgetary number, that landing at about $300 a square foot is a good number to use for understanding how much land you can buy and how big you can go. You know, but until we really get into the nuts and bolts, you know, whether it's in-floor heating, whether you want to spray foam, there's a lot of different
That's just it.
components. And the biggest one that I just want to hit is the land. You know, how far back is your barndominium? Do you need a well? Do you need septic? You know, how much
we don't
organic?
generally.
We can estimate certain earmarks for that, but that's why we focus our fee and our cost per square foot on the heated living space.
On the home.
Yes.
On the structure, right? I mean, we can give you ballpark numbers on stuff like that, but without walking the land and really having some insight. I mean, we don't know how far they have to go down to hit water in a well. I mean, it depends, right? So, but there was something I wanted to touch on. Oh, I wanted to go back to that estimates thing and doing estimates because you said it's a good $300 a square foot is a good number for people when you're thinking about the overall build for the structure, and that's a great number to go by. I'm hoping to put some money, leave some money in your pocket, but bear in mind, folks, please, we work really hard here and do a lot of things and spend countless hours on action items that are really just an added value. We're not being paid for this time. Matt pumps out probably, some weeks, 30 estimates. And then we have people come back and say, okay, can I get the Allura, the Thornton, the Georgina,
Just
and
pick one.
3, 4
Please just
different,
pick
and
one.
they want all these different estimates. Please take the first estimate, go over it with the estimator, because that's another value add that we offer. Have that conversation. There's discussion items on it that are highlighted in red. And take the time, if we're going to prepare you an estimate, please take that time to go over it with the estimator so that you can learn to understand what's on it. Because if you can do that, then moving forward, looking at another one of our models, you can now understand how to take those numbers in the first estimate and now apply it to other models and come up with your own numbers as well. Yeah, it's an educated guess. We're giving you that information. We're here to teach you how to do it. So please take that time. It's really disheartening when we...
No, I love it.
No, when
Yeah,
we
I
do
love
the
it.
estimates
It's great.
and then people don't want to take the time to talk about them and learn about it.
That's a whole nother, we could do a whole session on just
We're
that.
not gonna.
Okay. Because I got some really good stories on that one.
Yeah, well, we're just here to, I know, I can understand why there's a lot of confusion. Sometimes people don't understand how we operate and why we operate the way we do and what's the catch and you know, like, we're in this together. We're not custom home builders. We're your project managers. You wear the white hat. You're our boss. And, you know, you get the luxury of your job is to yay, nay, and pay. That's it. You make decisions and you pay the bills.
Yay,
And we're going to
pay.
take care of the rest. And a lot of that is through collaboration, and that's through our client portal, which we'll save for, it's not relevant really, unless you're become a client, and then Matt gives you a whole tutorial on that anyway, so don't worry, you'll learn how to use it. But there's a lot of valuable information in that portal. But yeah.
It's great. Again, something that I know there's a lot of project management tools and things that people use to manage projects, but it is our way of being transparent in nature with clients and having the opportunity to share and centralize communications. So,
One level is a question here from Dave in
Yes.
Ontario. I'm just going to pull. We have questions from people from over the past couple of months. So, can you build up in a barndo? Yes, you can build down too. We can do basements. I prefer not
we
to.
have
It
a
kind of
couple
eliminates
couple of two
the
stories
whole
and one on a
barndo
basement.
part. So, let's try to not do that. But I understand if it comes down to the land.
Lot size.
The land, right? If it's on a hill and you got to have a walkout basement down to the water, that makes sense. I get it. We can do that. Let's see what else. We covered that. Material supplier. We covered that.
I think the best way for people to understand really is how we work is, you know, having that conversation, that discovery call. We're very open and we have nothing to hide. There is no sale. We don't want to know what your budget is. And we're the only company that wants to be out there on the street working with you. You know, and not just
Eventually, we'll
not
talk
just
about
sell you a
budget, but
building.
not before you're a client. Because I
Yeah.
tell you, the second you begin to have a conversation about what people are looking to spend, you know, I get it. It's that whole custom build mindset where they think we're coming after all of their
we have
budget and
clients
then
that
some.
came to us and said, I got $270,000. I want as much as
Take
I
me
can
as
get
far
for
as
it.
that's
Like,
right. Take me as far
and then
as
we have
can
other
go.
clients that are, you know, north of six figures. So we're there again. We want to make barndominiums a thing. We want to make them best practices related and as affordable as possible for our clients.
Yeah.
So,
And-
maybe we can collect more. Maybe this will produce some more questions that people will have, and we can, you know, maybe do this again. It was fun. It was good. I liked it.
Well, I just want to touch before we wrap up. I want to touch remotely on remote.
On remote. Let's say that one 10 times.
I know,
fast.
and it's mostly because we are in Nova Scotia, we are in Ontario, we are in Alberta,
Manitoba.
and I just want people to know that I think like you'll get a dedicated project manager inside your province that's, you know, lives there, is there to service you, and that will be 3 builds. When we have 3 builds in your province, I think then that warrants having a salaried body in your province moving forward. We're almost there in those provinces, so I can see that happening in a few of them before this spring, which would be nice. But rest assured, every single build gets a site visit, whether it's Matt showing up as your project manager remotely from Ontario and walking the land with you and having those conversations, shaking your hand, looking at you, the whites of your eyes. But I mean, we have technologies in place that allow us to keep an eye on the build, to manage the build, and, you know, just be mindful that this is our livelihood. This is what we do. We want successful builds. We can't wait for these to be done. We have 16 scheduled for this spring, which is very exciting, and many other, you know, planned projects underway. But anything you want to wrap up with? We got to tie this up.
No, I think we, again, if there's something that we've missed or something else you want to know, we'd be happy to share it in a conversation or
100%.
share it in another video.
Call me. Don't call me after 7, please, p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But you can call me, 705-344-9852. It's on the website. You can email me, Shauna at barndomco.ca, SHAUNA at Barndo Co, BARNDOANDCO.ca.
Wow, that was...
Visit our website, right?
Down.
barndomco.ca. We're easy to find. But if you're watching this, you're on our socials. You should know how to reach us already, and we'd love to hear from you. Don't be no question is
and it would,
too far out there.
I'd say stay tuned, because we've got, you know, we're always looking to better the experience, to better the Barndominium journey.
Great
We've got
things coming. Stay tuned.
some amazing things coming that we've identified as pain points in the process, and we're happy to bring them again to the Canadian community. So
All right, we're out.
Out.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Talk soon.
Talk soon.